few years ago, I was driving trucks across America. Now I wake up to chickens in the mountains of Cebu. Welcome back, guys. I'm glad to see you back. This time here, I'm going over our actual home build this time. It's been of a process for us so far. We still got a long ways to go, but let me give you what we have so far. In the opening scene here, what you saw was the actual land itself. I managed to get 500 square meters of land here. We're going to do special things with it. I'm planning on actually getting more in the future, but just starting right now, we're going to get to 500. You're gonna see there's in the back of the house when that comes around that there's gonna be more land back there that I'm thinking about getting, so I can use that to maybe grow things, grow some flowers, some fruits and vegetables. Even looking at maybe getting a piggery back there as well. Now going into this, I didn't expect that initially that this was gonna be a hill, so we had to do some things to account for the fact that this is a hill. So this is where you're going to see it set up here. We had to bring in a lot of wood, scaffolding, just to start set up and get the shape of the basic base of the house. Now, keep in mind, this is an area that's prone to earthquakes and aftershocks. So when we did design this, we designed it in the way of thinking about keeping the house as strong as possible. Right now, the way it is, it's a pretty big house on the mountainside. Considering most houses around here are probably less than 75 square meters. We're at 190 square meters. Not my plan, but it is the way it is. So we took this area here, we combined it to make it the strongest, one of the best ways to be able to build a house with concrete. So in this, we have the actual beams tied in with the columns. I used a lot of 16 millimeter rebar. That's the biggest rebar that you can get over in these communities here, so that way you can start building a house with some strength. I used a lot of 16 millimeter rebar, so that can help with these aftershocks and earthquakes to keep the house from shaking so much. It's not preventable, but I can get it as close as possible to where it's going to be safe with us in the house if something happens. We're going to set up here the house itself with the base first, and it's called steel decking is what we're going to do. With the steel decking, it takes time because we have to apply metal as the base, metal sheets as the base, and then on top of that we put a grid of rebar. For us, we did a second grid of rebar also to add extra strength to it. So the first one is a smaller grid, and the larger one up top, the second layer, is a larger grid space. So that way we didn't use as much rebar, but we still committed to using enough rebar to make the house stable. Good thing over here is that it does rain from time to time, so it helps us with the weather slowing us down a little bit, so that way we can keep going and not build so fast where I'm just running out of my savings in the time. So when we get here, we're building the beams, and what they have to do is they have to pour these concrete beams first. So when they pour the concrete beams, then they set up the steel decking floor and connect it to it. So this is the first phase here. The second phase, we already got the structure set up as far as the columns and the beams. This is going to be going to actually filling the beams with concrete, so that way they can sit. And then what you're seeing up close here is the actual forms of the rebar that's showing there with the 16 millimeter rebar wrapped around it is 10 millimeters in a circle. They actually have to tighten those by hand. So everything that you're seeing that's not perfectly straight, they have to do by hand to turn. And this is all the extra rebar that we have to continually buy in this process. It takes a lot of rebar in the beginning to get this house strong. So, and here's the metal decking that we use in order to put down. So you put this down, then you put a grid over it, and then you put a layer of concrete on top of that to strengthen it. So we going into this, and we're starting to do more of the steel decking itself. I'm trying to capture as much as possible, so it's every couple of days I'm recording this. So this is a process 2 days later from the before video, where they've done a little bit more of the steel decking itself. That's the hardest part between doing the base of the house and the walls and the roof. And you're looking at spending the most time there in the house. Now for us, because it was on the mountain, we had to dig into a lot of limestone down into the ground. So we had to get the jackhammers out and dig, and then they dig by hand also with shovels and picks. So it took a lot of work to get those columns put in. So I'm glad that I have these Filipino workers, because they help out a lot. They're really good people, especially in this community. Now this is where we come in with the cement, and now since we got the steel decking done, we got the base done, the steel decking done, the rebar grid on top of the steel decking. Now we're starting to cement here to create the floor. We just put those bottles and cans on top of the rebar so that everybody can know where they're at, so they're not getting stuck by any. And these guys are amazing. They actually do all this in flip-flops. They call them chanellas or sandals over here, but it's crazy that they do it that way. They managed to get the first part done in 1 day. The second part they got done in the second day. Now the following parts, it took them overnight to be able to complete on the third and fourth day. You're gonna see here pretty soon at the night with the machine running, getting some night shots here. But they work really hard and really fast. So I'm happy I have them. And you can see throughout here how we have the steel decking all the way across, and then the rebar on top. Now this is the nighttime here where they're going and they're actually using the machine again. Luckily for us, in our local barangay where we're at here in the province, they allowed us to be able to use the mixer for free. We just gotta take care of any maintenance that needs to be done with the mixer. So that way, when they get the mixer back, they get it back in somewhat the same shape, or if not a little bit better than what they gave it to us with. So we're blessed on that, because we don't have to worry about paying additional costs every day for a mixer. And then like it is every other day, it's a raining day. But good thing, like I said, it slows down the process a little bit. It doesn't have it moving too fast because of the rain. Now we're going into the walls. Now that we got the base completely done, now we're setting up the walls now. At first, the decision was to go on to do the columns first, but I didn't want to wait on the columns because we were still using wood underneath the house, and I wanted to use that wood for scaffolding. So we waited on doing the columns first and started doing the walls first instead. Right now, this is just a front. They started getting it pretty fast. Took 1 day to get this many blocks up in 1 day. I'm blessed with these workers. They work really good. So they definitely take care of us here and make sure this house is getting built and built efficiently. Now we're moving further along the process here. I might have to turn your screen a little bit here because I'm going to change my phone into a landscape mode so you get more of a view of how it looks. So this is a bunch of higher build. We're planning on having quite a few windows in the front and a couple on the side, and then in the back there's going to be some windows in the street. And I'm debating on whether to do French doors or a sliding glass door in the kitchen. As you can see, we ordered about 2,500 number 6 size hollow blocks. The number 6 size hollow blocks are actually closer to what you use in the US. They have a number 4 here that's typical that everyone uses here. Is much lower cost. But at the same time, you're going to get what you get with the lower cost. Now, I did take the number 4 and use those for my interior walls. So I wanted the strength on the outside, then the interior walls, I can use the number 4 to get the walls up instead of using the number 6 completely all the way throughout the house. As you see, there's the bedroom, the office, and the master bathroom. This is my daughter's room. Going to Here's the main bathroom for the rest of the house. I even took the time to put a pantry in for my wife too, which is next to the bathroom. This is going to be one of my favorite spots right here out in the back of the house. I already could tell I've been out there on that back porch numerous times looking out there. I'm going to buy some more land out there and clear some of those trees out so I get even more of a view out in the back. So it's going to be one of my favorite spots. As you can see, they work really fast. They were able to get a higher level now. So hopefully within the next couple of days, you're going to continue with getting the more block up. We're going to go roughly about 2.7 meters high. Then we're going to do the roof beam and then another 1.5 meters on top of that before we actually start the roof.
It was a crush, but I couldn't get enough. It was a rush, but I gave it up. It was a crush. Now I might have wanna said too much.
This is the pantry here.
So I gave it up. I live my day as if it was the last. Live my day as if it was no past.
It's the master bathroom, and then beside it is the master office.
There's my heart out till the dawn, but I won't be done when morning comes. Doing it all night, all summer. Gonna spend it like no other. It was a crush. I kept saying I'ma stay in touch, but that thing went bust. So I gave it up. Ooh, no tricks, no bluff. I'm just better off without them cuffs. Yeah, the sun won't set on us. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. Well, oh, well.
All right, welcome back out spot again. Like I said, I'm always in the back. Amazingly, there's a tree back there that's full of flowers that the butterflies like to get into, so that's gonna be a nice view every morning. Hey, I'm gonna let them know it's butterflies, but hey, you'll like the peace and quiet back there too.
I live my day as if it was the last. Live my day as
I'm gonna have some railing along the back of this porch here, so that way we can not worry about anything falling off. I didn't want to put blocks back there because I don't want it, if it rains, I want the rain to be able to drain out the bottom of the porch. So the way, and then also it doesn't block my view of the back area either. We're also gonna have a dirty kitchen right about here on the outside also, so that way she can cook her fish, her salted fish outside, so that way I don't gotta smell it inside the house. Trust me, there's some smells you just don't get used to.
to make me blush. Second time is one to let. I live my day as if it was the last. Live my day as if it was
We went from the kitchen to the pantry
summer. Doing it the way I wanna. Yeah, I'm
to the bathroom.
done, but I won't be done when morning comes.
This is my daughter's room.
Gonna spend it like no other.
It's a good standard size room for us anyway.
Life giving me a rush. Had one chance to make me blush. Second time is one to let.
Now this is a bit longer room, a little bit skinnier. It's not as skinny as we're used to, but it's about 2.5 meters by about 5 meters, because we have our room being about 5 meters. And I'd like to thank you all for taking your time to listen to this video. I'm gonna go over what I've been seeing and doing over these past couple of months. I've been here since December, so it's taken a lot for us to be able to get as much work done as possible. So we started the house in April. So between April and now, we've actually done quite a lot to this house, and I'm proud of how fast they've been moving, and I love everything that they've done. So I thank you and see you again.